when it comes to starting an overlanding, you know, you need to be honest with yourself with where you want to end. All right, we're going to start off with my 06 4Runner. I came from a Toyota background. Understand that all this stuff is interchangeable with the GX 470. They're essentially the same vehicle. Just one is a little prettied up, one of them isn't. I'm more comfortable with the 4Runner, so that's what I've got. This one's an 06, 215,000 miles. I love it. When it dies, I'll end up putting it back together and killing it again. And then I'll find another one, and we'll just keep right on going. This cycle will repeat because I just can't be without one. Very simple. This truck is built to do almost anything you want it to do. It's a little overkill, to be honest with you. But it fills my needs and it makes me happy, and that's what this is all about, right? If you love the car, then doing all this stuff and putting the time into it is something that you're not gonna mind so much. So, you know, start off where you need to start off with the right vehicle. Go from there. Right now, we're gonna dive into to looking at tires, looking at suspension, getting an idea of where we set, and kind of give you an idea where you might want to go. All right, well, let's start off by talking about tire selection, because to me, tire selection is kind of where you start. Tire selection is going to dictate your traction. It's going to dictate what kind of lift you need, how far you want to go. What we have here is roughly a 33 by 10.5. Actually, it's 33 by 11.5. It's 285 70 17. Your stock size is going to be a 265 65 on this. With this truck running this size, you're going to need some sort of lift. Now, if you're just going to go bomb down some fire roads or go have some fun on some back roads, you can stay at stock height and run a nice aggressive all-terrain in the factory 265 65 17. And it will take you almost anywhere you want to go. But if you're looking for that look and you want that lift, you're going to go with an oversized, then you probably need to lift it up first, then figure out your tires. On this particular 4Runner, a good 2 or 3 inch lift with a 33 by 11.5 is the sweet spot. You don't have as much rub, you get a ton of clearance, and you get a ton of travel. So it'll almost go anywhere without actually hurting the vehicle. You actually enjoy going out and putting it through its paces and making it do what you want it to do. All right, we're gonna go into the basics of a suspension lift, and understand this being my truck, it's a little bit overkill for what most people are gonna need. You probably don't need to go this far, but you know, it makes me happy, so I'm gonna do that. That's my thing. This truck is essentially a Icon Stage 5 kind of mutt mix. We've got a tubular front, upper control arms. In the rear, we have billet lowers. We've also got remote reservoir shocks, full coilover setup. It's pretty much overkill for what most people would need. You know, you don't have to go this far. You can go with something a little bit less dramatic. But for me, I kind of wanted to be able to do whatever I want to do, whenever I want, however I want. And this does it for me, man. I think this is going to be probably the pinnacle of what anybody would need. You can go with something a little less. Bilstein makes a good 5100 setup. That 5100 setup will do almost anything you want it to do for a lot less money. Just remember, keep in mind what you want the truck to do, and that's going to dictate how far you need to go, what you want to do with it, and how much money you need to spend. This is just one of those things that you're going to get what you give when it comes to suspension. You know, if you want the best, you're going to pay for it. You don't necessarily need it, but be honest with yourself about what you really want that truck to do. Now, you know, here you can see that we've got tubular uppers here. These are reinforced. Right now I've got uniballs. I'm going to end up going to the delta joints sooner or later just because I know they exist. Nothing wrong with uniballs, it's all a matter of opinion. You got your remote reservoir shock. These are actually extended travel, long travel shocks. The ones in the front can droop up to 8 inches once the vehicle's above ground. So you've got 8 inches of drop to grab and pull you through whatever you need to. And that's kind of what makes these special, is them being long travel, having the extra reservoir. It allows you to have a soft spring rate so the truck rides really well and weight transfers, but it also allows you to get the articulation to pull you through any scenario you seem to get into. And you know, that's also the reason why you have a winch. If it can't get you out, you drag yourself out. It's just part of the game. All right, so you've got your tires, you got your lift, you got it set the way you want. You're happy. Well, the next progression, the next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make some put some protection on that vehicle, depending on the trails that you're running. Obviously, drivetrain is most important. You know, a good skid plate pays dividends. That stuff matters. You know, you don't want to get out on the trail, hit a rock, and go hit the pan and have problems. You know, if you're stuck, can't get the truck off the trail, you're not going to have a good time. The whole point of doing all this is to go out in nature, have a good time, explore. But you know, you got to be smart about it. Don't go running up on something until you're sure and you're ready. You know, get you some nice protection under the bottom, get you some protection for the front. Make sure you have a way to get drug out of whatever scenario you get yourself into, because you're always going to overstep your line. It's just part of going out and having fun. One time or another, you're going to get stuck. You're going to have to get pulled out. Just go ahead and prepare for it. The more you prepare for it, the easier it's going to be on you. All right, now we're going to go one step further and talk about protecting the back too. This is a CBI steel rear bumper. It's all reinforced. You got a whole lot of departure angle built into here, so you don't have to worry about dragging it very often. It's also, since it's steel and reinforced, it will support the entire weight of the truck. If you get in a scenario where you hung up on something, this bumper will not stop you. Now, me personally, I have four-wheelers, I have kids, I like to go out and play in the woods, so I had to make sure I had the hitch put on. Most people leave this hitch off because it does drop your ground clearance a little bit. Me personally, I gotta have it. The whole reason of buying a V8 truck is because I like to drag stuff around sometimes. I like to have some fun. Other than that, you know, you got basic side protection. You want to have some sort of protection around the car, mainly because when you're off-roading, you're going to be at very steep angles from side to side. You don't want to run up on a stump and have the vehicle rock and slam the cab into it. So you're going to do something like this, but these are full weld-on rock sliders from CBI. They also have a 6-inch kickoff, so they're pushed off the vehicle. It's not technically a kick out because it's all the way across, but it allows the vehicle to lean over and still have a 6-inch margin before it hits the cab of my truck, which to me is important because yes, it may be an 06, it may have 215,000 miles on it, but for an 06, it's beautiful and I would love for it to stay that way. So this is small things to keep this truck as nice as possible while I still enjoy it. To me, that's the essence of why you do these things. All right, so let's just go ahead and get into name dropping. We're gonna name drop two more brands that we sell here. One of them is Prinsu and the other one is Cali raised LEDs. This is my Prinsu rack that runs all the way length of the truck. It's reinforced, it's solid. It's got multiple tie-down holes. These are actually the hold downs for my off-road jack. I keep it at the house when I'm not going overlanding because it rattles and drives me a little crazy. But I like leaving the post here, so when I do go, all I have to do is loosen them up, throw my jack on top, and I can take off and be gone. Great upgrade, and honestly, it looks awesome too, which is one of the main things that I like about it. Now you use it, it's gonna be great. You can throw a tent up here, you can throw whatever you want up here, throw some rotor packs up here, throw you some gas cans, whatever. There's tie downs everywhere, that's what it's for. It's essentially a pallet to put on top of your truck to mount anything you want. And it's something that you will use more than you think you will. And even if you don't, it still looks pretty damn cool. My LexTechs Johns Creek. Just wanted to say that this is probably the first video of many. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, find it informative. Feel free to ask questions, whether it be in comment section or whether it be directly to us. We're here for you. Once again, I'm Jace. Thanks for your 5-10 minutes of time, and if you need anything, please let us know.